Time now for the news, and thank you for staying. Let's talk about the economy in our first story. And President Akufo-Addo says Ghana's debt sustainability profile is in tatters, leaving the balance of payment unreliable. The only savior at this moment, according to him, is a deal with the International Monetary Fund, but that is also in doubt as Ghana is yet to fulfill the conditionalities that have been set. Inducting into office new ministers K.T. Hammond, Brian Achampon, and others, the president said a deal with the fund would set the stage for the recovery of our economy.
Like the rest of the world, the reality of the fact is that our economy is in considerable economic difficulty, following the headwinds that continue to buffet the globe. Our balance of payments and debt sustainability profile have been disrupted and have further exposed the structural weaknesses of our economy. We've gone to the International Monetary Fund to seek its assistance to repair in the short term our public finances and restore our balance of payments, whilst we continue to work on the medium to long-term structural changes that are at the heart of our goal of constructing a resilient, robust Ghanaian economy and building a Ghana beyond aid. Reaching an agreement with the board of the fund, which we hope to do very soon, will set the stage for the strong recovery of Ghana's economy. All of us have a duty to help make sure we get back to the years of high economic growth, which characterized the years before the outbreak of COVID-19 and the Russian invasion of Ukraine. To this end, I want to remind you that the quality of integrity which will permeate your work is extremely important.
Now, the Coalition of Domestic Election Observers, CODEO, has taken a swipe at President Akufo-Addo for appointing affiliates of the New Patriotic Party to the Electoral Commission. Dr. Peter Apiahene and Hajia Salima Ahmed Tijani have come under intense scrutiny, with various researchers suggesting a connection to the ruling party. Kweku Asante now reports on that matter.
Dr. Peter Apiahene and Hajia Salima Ahmed Tijani appointments as members of the Electoral Commission has generated considerable backlash. CODEO is warning that these appointments have the tendency to make the EC look partisan and affect the credibility of future elections, and have called on the two to resign. Reverend Dr. Fred Degbe read the address on behalf of CODEO.
We are painfully aware that voluntary and constitutionally grounded revocation of these unfortunate and democratically problematic EC appointments by the President is extremely unlikely. However, nothing stops the affected appointees, namely Dr. Peter Apiahene and Hajia Salima Ahmed Tijani, from voluntarily and honorably resigning from membership of the EC. This will be in the supreme interest of our country's continued democratic progress, election peace and credibility, and indeed the overall national interest.
CODEO's research established the political leanings of the two.
Internet searches and other social media exchanges since the announcement on her appointment have revealed additional relevant information about Madam Salima Tijani. She is said to be married to one Sheikh T.B. Damba, a leading member of the NPP, who was formerly the second national vice chairman of the party and served as Ghana's ambassador to Saudi Arabia from 2017 to 2021. Madam Salima Tijani's mother, that's Hajia Samata Gifty Bukari, was the first elected woman, first vice chairperson of the NPP in the northern region. Since the announcement of his appointment as a member of the EC, social media postings have revealed that Dr. Apiahene is an activist of the New Patriotic Party in the Bono region. In one social media comment on January 2021 headed, Dr. Apiahene for Bono region, Dr. Apiahene is featured on an NPP labeled flyer as one of the 6 prospects for the position of the Bono regional minister.
Cordeiro is concerned the public confidence in the EC is already low and that these appointments will further dampen public trust in the commission.
Afrobarometer surveys have recorded declining levels of public trust in the EC. Trust ratings for the EC have shown a steady decline since 2008. In 2004, close to half, that's 48% of Ghanaians, trusted the EC. The EC's trust ratings reduced by 8 points to 40% in 2008. In 2012, this dropped drastically to 27%. The Commission's trust rating continued to trend downward in 2014.
Cordeiro insists the perceived political affiliation of the EC members matter, despite President Akufo-Addo saying it did not.
Some have tried to downplay the concerns associated with these latest problematic appointments by arguing that the appointees in question cannot change any electoral outcome, or that it is voters that determine election results, not electoral officers in charge of counting or collating results. This is an unfortunate and rather cavalier response to the grave concerns we raise here. If it did not matter who sat on the Electoral Commission, we could put anybody at all on it, and the appointing authority would not need the advice of a Council of State in the appointment process.
Let's turn our gaze to healthcare now, and doctors working in the Ashanti regional capital, Kumasi, say they will picket the Manshia Palace if a directive by the Ashanti Regional Coordinating Council to evict them and others occupying bungalows on lands released to the Asantehene is made to stand. The letter, signed by the Regional Coordinating Director on behalf of the Regional Minister, says the land has been released to the occupant of the Golden Stool in trust for the people. My colleague Elton Brobe now reports.
It says, I'm directed by the regional minister to write with reference to this letter, and the reference is quoted here, from the Regional Coordinating Council and issued to all public institutions relating to the release of portions of land to the Golden Stool under an executive instrument by government in respect of redevelopment of Sector 18 of Kumasi, and also to inform all occupants of government bungalows within the area that the land have eventually been taken over by the Golden Stool. Arrangements are underway to relocate government officials who were allocated the bungalows by the Ashanti Regional Coordinating Council on the affected land to new facilities. In this regard, occupants are to hold themselves in readiness to relocate to new facilities that will be assigned to them. Now, occupants are hereby assured that the SI will be undertaken smoothly without any inconvenience, and it will end in July 2023.
Well, I'm sure they've been giving more reasons as to why this action has been taken at this time.
Well, the Ashanti Regional Coordinating Council says that they are only giving reference to an executive instrument 432 of 2021 by government in respect of redevelopment of Sector 18 of Kumasi, which was published in the Gazette on 31st of December 2021. And in this Gazette, they says that the land in question, the instrument has vested and released a portion of the state land at the rich residential area in Kumasi to the Asantehene on behalf and in trust for subjects of the Golden Stool. The portion, with an area of 409.24 acres, span from the northwestern section of the military barracks near Konfanoti Teaching Hospital. The site is along the Bekwai Road, Acid Western boundary to Santash Runabout, with the southern bypass at the southern boundary. The land also lies towards Dakojum, to the State Experimental School along the Denyame stream to the north, with the Cedar Road as the eastern boundary, and makes reference to private individuals who are also on this land and what will come of them. Then they'll be asked to, renegotiate their lease agreement with the Golden Stool.
Well, on that same beat, the chairman of the Ashanti Regional Branch of the Medical Association, Dr. Pakwesi Beidu, says this move actually will make their work very difficult.
And accommodations are situated around hospitals and facilities for a reason. It means they want you to respond within a reasonable amount of time when there are emergencies. And so those who developed these buildings didn't do it out of vacuum. They thought through it before they did that. So it's not about compensation. And mind you, most of you come to the Nyame, you see that they are building all over. Within 6 months, buildings are ringing out. Right now, who are the owners of these buildings? I can tell you, it's the politicians. They want this land for whatever interest they have in it. I don't know. But then, if you have no respect for the country, you should respect your professionals. Because as doctors, we don't want to go on strike, and we are not going to do that out of respect for Otunfo. But if they still want to persist, the regional minister, because he thinks he has the power to persist, effective next month, we'll start picketing at the Regional Coordinating Council led by the Ashanti Regional GMA. If that doesn't work, from May or June, we'll be picketing at Menchia until our petition is heard.
Let's talk power theft now. And a 54-year-old electrician has been arrested by the Revenue Protection Task Force of the Electricity Company of Ghana for installing illegal meters and extorting money from customers. John Fofio was arrested in his hideout at Kunsu in the Ahafo Southwestern District of the Ashanti region. Now, police retrieved 8 fake electricity meters embossed with ECG logos during a search in his house. Ohemeng Tewia of our security desk has more in the following report.
The ECG Revenue Protection Task Force has been ruthless with customers who owe the power company in electricity bills and engaged in illegal connections. Out of the 5.7 billion Ghana cedis owed by electricity consumers nationwide, the Ashanti region accounts for 1.2 billion Ghana cedis, representing 21% of debt owed. The task force, whilst on operation, detected some fake meters installed by the suspect at Kunsu and its environs. Owners alleged John Fofi supplied the meters. Further investigations led to the arrest of the suspect in his hideout, where the police retrieved 8 fake meters. Engineer Kofi Danso is the Ashanti Regional Revenue Protection Manager.
A team from the Ashanti SBU headquarters that went to Kunsu in line with the revenue mobilization exercise. Then we chanced upon a customer who has abandoned the official ECG recognized meter and have installed these unauthorized or fake meters because there's debt in the original ECG meter. We intended to arrest him directly, but then he led us to the corporate who came to install the meter for him. So yesterday, the corporate was arrested, sent to the Buakwa police station, and then we went with the corporate to his house, and we found additional meters together with our moratorium. If you all remember, ECGMD gave a moratorium that all people who have this unauthorized or meters that are unknown to ECG come forward, then let ECG help you regularize it. That exercise expired in December. Unfortunately, unscrupulous people have made duplicates of our moratorium notice, and they keep installing these fake meters for customers, and then when they install it, they give you that moratorium, indicating that as if it's ECG who has authorized them to do that.
According to Engineer Danso, the task force will leave no stone unturned in its quest to block all revenue leakages, including dealing with illegal connections and fake meters. At least 15 million Ghana cedis has been retrieved from customers who owe ECG in the Ashanti region. But how widespread is the issue of fake ECG meters in the region? Engineer Danso again.
This is affecting us seriously. It is all over the place. A lot of the customers who owe us, they abandon our meter and they go for these fake meters so that they never pay. I have a lot of cases. They charge between the 1,000 and as much as 2,500. And they install this. At Risk Coast alone, if I'm not mistaken, more than 50 customers were using these illegal meters. So we have disconnected them. We have summoned them.
From Kumasi, for Joy News, Ohemeng Tewia reporting.
Now, in our final story, Member of Parliament for South Dine, Roxanne Nelson Dafiamekpo, is working to increase the number of educated constituents in his constituency. He has set up a scholarship scheme to cater for the cost of their tertiary education and alleviate their plight. Fred Kwame Asare has more from a ceremony in Peve to disburse funds to qualified members.
Mr. Dapiamekpo explained that after investing in infrastructure at basic and second cycle levels, he needed to cushion qualified students to further their education at the tertiary level. This, he said, compelled him to give scholarship to some constituents to contribute to build the human capacity of the South Dine district.
I have to be thoughtful in how I apply my statutory funds. So when people say that they want additional classroom block, I say yes, you want additional classroom block. But when the people leave the GSS, when they complete PESCO, when they complete PESTEC, when they complete Peve Senior High, when they complete Tongo Senior High, they are unable to proceed. Meanwhile, the funds that has come is limited. So allow me to assist them. So that if you give me a bill of say 30,000, 3,000 or 4,000, I paid 2,000. I expect your parents to also assist you. These days, the schools are benevolent enough to say that pay a certain percentage and come in. So you take steps and pay the rest for the academic year. And that is what I've been doing. Recently, I raised the issue that even admission form, the cost of admissions form is something that the schools must waive. You only pay it when you are admitted. If I'm applying, why do you charge me? If you don't admit me, why do you take my money? Yes, it's something I'm raising on the floor seriously. And they are making millions out of the cost of admission forms.
He entreated the beneficiaries to make good use of the money and come back to help develop the constituency.
Hitherto, I wasn't doing it, but I think going forward, I should let you understand the importance of assisting you in terms of tuition, so you don't take certain things for granted. I want you to go out, do well, become lawyers, become judges, become big engineers, become big teachers, professors, and write books on the district. If people are not writing on the district, write academic work on the district. Let the district feature in academic works, so that when somebody is referencing, you can see that there's an academic write-up on the biography or on the profile of the district, so that we can be referenced. So tomorrow when I leave where I'm standing, one of you can be here as the MP, also advocating and helping people who are now toddlers. By tomorrow they'll get to your age.
The beneficiaries appreciated the support from the MP, with one of them presenting a canvas photo of him to show her gratitude. Fred Kwame Asari, Joy News, Peve.
The news is done and dusted, but you know the news review is up next. Stay with us.